Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nut, and welcome to Fallout 4's Vault-Tec DLC, and something a little bit different, because the thing is, this is one of those settlement building kind of DLCs, meaning really what you want to see is all the stuff that's been added and the fun stuff in terms of building a vault. But because there's a bit more story and quest and context, that means technically if I would start at the beginning of the DLC, the first part would actually have very little actual building or vaults in it, because there's a lot of like exploring and digging and diddly-diddly-dee. So I've decided we're going to start in media res on this occasion. This is about an hour or so into the DLC. I will show you that hour and all of the story and all the setup and all the context tomorrow, but instead we're going to skip an hour in because I've just been challenged with my first vault experiment, and I'd like to show that off because I think that's probably the bit you're most interested in. Building a vault, doing a vault experiment. So we've decided to skip to here. Hope that makes sense anyway. The experiment in question is very, very simple. I've been given schematics for an exercise bike that if you wire it into the power grid, basically a person can cycle on, and as a result of that, they can contribute into the grid by doing exercise. So I am going to try and build a little vault to support that. Okay, so I've cleared out this big kind of opening hall area here, and I've got the idea, which is Clem the idiot, who's going to be our guinea pig. He's going to need his own area to live where we can actually observe him, because he's got to kind of be kept under controlled conditions, otherwise that might kind of bias the experiment. So what I need to do is I need to build like a little area for him in the middle, and then a bigger area around the outside. I do not care about 10 Pines Bluff, game. I promise you I don't. Then need to build a bigger area around the outside that we can use to observe him. So let's actually see if we can put that together. I'll do a proper go over of like literally everything that's new that's been added to the workshop next time. For now I just kind of want to build like a little bit of a basic vault so I can do my first Vault-Tec experiments today. So over in structures there is a brand new vault section which adds a pleasingly large amount of new stuff in fact. So over in Vault, you've kind of got the domestic areas, the utility areas, the kind of the wide halls that you're kind of probably most familiar with from, for example, Vault 114. Then you've got the actual rooms for people to live in, then a whole bunch of like atrium stuff, door stuff, which is very, very cool indeed, as well as window stuff. And don't worry, don't be disappointed, because over in the actual door section, you can build a full proper vault door if you want. If you want to build your own full vault door, you can. In fact, it's remarkably cheap to do. Apparently that massive vault door that kind of stood up to nuclear bombs just cost, you know, 10 steel, 15 concrete, a little bit of aluminium and a few gears. So, you know, vault doors on the cheap. And I'd say that's one of the things I'd like to begin with, actually. What we need to do is Clem needs to think that the vault he's in is going to be like an actual proper vault. So we need to build him like a vault door in the middle. So if we kind of put just like a vault door down here. Yeah, there we are. So we got ourselves a vault door here. Presumably this needs to be like powered or something, right? No, it doesn't. This is a special, unique sort of vault door that requires literally no power and no control system. I really, really would have thought that, you know, a vault door would require power or a terminal to operate, but there's not even a place to wire in a terminal. Okay, that's intriguing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now about 2 hours later. I've been doing a lot of work here, and I would like to invite you now to the first ever Vault Within a Vault experiment. I'm very, very proud of this. Welcome to the exterior of Vault 89. Good old Vault 89. A lovely, lovely vault. And this is the vault, obviously, where from now on, Clem is going to be living. So, we've kind of got this lovely little exterior here. We've got these kind of disco balls for lovely decoration. We've got these Vault-Tec models all giving the thumbs up. Just so you know, everyone understands, like, you know, everything's fine. We've got some good motivational posters. Anyone can just come up here, activate the vault door. So we'll just crack that open nicely. The light kind of just goes straight through the concrete. But never mind. So let me give you the grand tour for where Clem is going to be living. Obviously, we step inside here and we reach the little kind of, the slightly grubby little entrance terminal. That's 100% fine. It doesn't need to be that nice. Now, obviously, once we actually bring Clem into the area, we will be shutting down the door. That is a powered door there. So once he's inside, Clem actually has no way of escaping. He will actually be inside the vault until such time as I decide to let him out, which is lovely. Then he's got this nice entrance area here with these here walnuts. Let's just quickly do the tour. So straight ahead of him, he has got the residential area, which is lovely. Obviously, we've kind of installed some doors so we can have some privacy if he wants. The area is all very nicely lit. That's actually one of the nice things I really like about the Vault-Tec tile set, by the way, which is the lights are beautifully light and everything's so clean. It's like it's light and clean, which is always what I've kind of wanted. It's almost like halfway to your institute. Now, when I mentioned privacy, by the way, you may notice that obviously the windows which are barred for his protection, some people have noticed that there are indeed cameras set up outside every single one of the windows. Obviously, that is purely for security. We want Clem to feel safe. He will find that inside his little residential area, he's got everything he needs. He's got himself a nice toilet and sink, and obviously we've put up motivational posters that are appropriate to the area. So cleanliness is godliness is up right here, reminding him to wash his hands. Little counter to create a little kind of separation of space. He's got storage over here for anything that he wants. This is his kind of little work area, and you've got a nice little chest here. See in his work area, stay fit, stay focused, says the poster. Very, very good. Oh, we've got a little kind of Vault experiment going on here, which is obviously on one side of the room we set up a red, a yellow and a green chair, and on the other side of the room we set up a single blue chair. We will be monitoring him to figure out which of those he decides to sit in. We might get some kind of view into his inner psyche that way. Oh, we've also given him a camera. There is just one camera that just sits all on its own on this table. We're not sure what he's going to take photos of, but trying to figure out what he does take photographs of, that might actually be very interesting too. And his little kitchen area over here, eat well, live well, says the motivational poster. Yes, beautiful. So we've got this little kitchen area here. I provided him with like a bowl and a plate and a little kind of sink area so we can wash up as well, together with all these little kind of food things and watery things. So I'm assuming, like, you know, this is just like a nutrient paste dispenser or something. That kind of just kicks out all the food he's going to need to live. So is that not lovely? So that's where he lives, obviously, but that's not really the whole story. The whole story, of course, is the research part. We need to be running tests on this guy. Obviously, normally this whole area will be kind of blocked off, which is very, very nice. So instead, we head over this way. Obviously, we've kind of put his reminder, that's just his daily reminder on the wall that there is nothing behind him. And as you can see, if we kind of turn around, there is indeed nothing behind him. That is just a corridor in total darkness. If we head over there, obviously we can see that's just where we keep the spare statue, which will just kind of hide in the darkness. So I'm sure that will not freak him out in the slightest. You know, that's just a very simple, just kind of reminder. There is nothing behind you. The kind of the vague human shape you can see in the darkness there is just a spare statue. It is not a murderer who has snuck in through the entranceway that's right here that we control and you don't. So just keep on going round here. Obviously we get to the research room. I like the fact that signs, by the way, you can put up lit kind of glowing signs, which is nice. I've got power kind of running over the top of the vault, obviously, so I'll show you kind of what it looks like from the outside in a minute. We open up this door here and we head through into the research wing, which I've kind of split in two, which I quite like. So I've kind of used the railings to create, like, this is where obviously, you know, the observer and the scientist sits. Actually, no, I think about it, it might be nice to put that outside because there's nothing to stop me using the new kind of conductor things to put the wire through the wall, so I could just have the terminal outside. That actually might be a better idea, really, but maybe I'll fix that later. So we've kind of got the terminal and where the person running the experiment sits, and then beyond the railings, of course, we've actually got the Power Cycle 1000 prototype and all of this nice stuff here. See, you know, while Clem is cycling, we've put up some nice inspirational post here. So hard work is happy work, he's reminded, and obviously we do still have a few cameras monitoring him outside the windows, which are barred for his safety. I've actually forgotten to wire in the terminal, so I need to do that quickly. So I can show you the back end, which is I've got some stairs around the back here. Obviously, we've got a generator just up top and just kind of a whole bunch of wiring to get all the lights kind of running as they should do, which is very, very nice. Okay, there we are. I've kind of just put a quick through-the-wall conduit there. As I say, I'll probably fix this up so I'll actually create like an upstairs overseer area where like all of the terminals go ultimately. But this will do for now because that will be a very easy thing to fix later. Now I've kind of got this in place, for example. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. So over to this here terminal. Power cycle experiment. So choose experimental parameters. So I can either have additional power production or sustained usage incentives, environmental enhancer. All right, let's have some notes from Dr. Braun first. So it's already successful and it turns wasteful exercise into clean power, but can we do better? Okay, so I've got to choose what else it would do. So in this case, we'd be discreetly injecting small dosages of buff out. Not only will the test subject pedal longer and faster, potentially they'll associate the narcotic effect with the activity. Okay, after 43 hours of continuous pedaling, test subject experienced cardiac arrest. Okay, so basically this little experiment would be we get people to cycle for longer, which therefore presumably generates more power. Okay, fine. Alternatively, the environmental enhancer, we could make the lab where they're pedaling nicer using like sweet fragrances and the gentle lapping of waves, but power production was utterly, utterly terrible. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. As for additional power, if we simply electrocute people, yes, administering electric shocks if their rotation per minute dips below acceptable levels, so that can be increased, though there have been several deaths. And keep a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. How about we do the buff out thing? Yeah, I would say what we want to do is the sustained usage incentives. That will be fine. We'll just do the buff out thing. Yes, accept the parameters. There we go, and let Clem ride the bike for an hour. Okay, Clem, I've got good news. I've got a vault ready for you. Clem, here he is. Oh, he's hiding around the back. No, Clem, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, we've got the problem that Clem can't navigate his way to the bloody bike. Okay, hang on, I think I can, if I just temporarily move this and put it back, I think I can get him through into the lab without him actually causing any trouble whatsoever. Right, so just pretend we're going to move this. Yeah, Clem, get in there, quickly. That removes the bike. Clem, come on, in you go. In you go, nice and quick, Clem, while I'm just holding up the common room for you. Clem, come on. Clem, don't be a dick. There he is, good, we got him inside, perfect.
I'll keep pedaling.
Good work, Clem.
Oh, boy. I'm feeling really good.
That is magnificently good. Uh-oh. You okay, Clem? Okay, that's even better. Marvellous. Right. Oh, he's fine. Well, that's fine then. Everything's good.
Hey.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I broke your vault.
You did as well. What happened to the bloody lights?
I kept pedaling faster and faster. And then the whole vault went kablooey. Please don't kick me out.
I really bloody should, you know. What's he done to the entirety of the vault? The whole vault is just now, like, oh, bloody hell. Right, you know what? As you've broken the vault, you just have to... The power's been cut. Great! Now we're both bloody trapped in here together, you bastard! Oh, this is interesting. So, the power to the generator's somehow been cut. I think kind of something got disconnected. But, when he's actually on the bike... He actually is generating the power to make the vault work. That's nice. Alright, well, I'm just going to use my cheaty psychic powers to just very quickly escape from the vault. There we go. I'm now out of the vault using my magic buildy powers. Good. And that means... Hang on. Just make sure he's trapped in here. Yeah, okay, good. He's already trapped in here. What happened to the rest of this? Oh, he bloody broke everything. Right, yeah, I think he kind of basically... He's fused the entire power grid. Which is, all of the generators are busted. These are all the actual power conduits. Yeah, the power conduits are fine. But any generator that was wired into the grid has been busted. This is probably my punishment for the fact that in fact, why have I even got generators? I've got 152 power around here somewhere. Yeah, there's one of the big new awesome generators somewhere around here. Right. So, basically, I need to fix those. But I don't actually have enough ceramic to do it. So this seems like an excellent point to call it an episode here, ladies and gentlemen. I think next time we will pick up with this. I will quickly go and grab some ceramic, fix up my bloody generators. Clem is now basically stuck in the vault forever because there's now no exit because he actually blew up the generator that theoretically could power the door. So, in fact, how did he do that? That's not even wired into the same grid. That's on its own unique grid. Look, this is literally only wired into... That was some impressive cycling. Yeah, that was my punishment for what I did. I fed a man on nothing but drugs, and as a result, he's destroyed my vault. I feel like I deserve this in some ways. So as the vault door of the now not at all lit up Vault 89 closes for the moment, because yeah, this thing keeps working even with no power, I would say we'll call it here and we'll pick up tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, Vault-Tec DLC. And as I said at the beginning, tomorrow I'll put like the story, going to the vault, the context, the initial kind of exploration, the caving, the really quite tough monsters that live down in the caves and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to dig straight into this, so I hope that all makes sense to you. So, tomorrow we'll go back to the beginning and we'll do that, and the day after that we'll probably wrap up the whole DLC. So, that's what's to come, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Fallout 4's Vault-Tec DLC. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Here we go. Farmers are starting to plant some fish. They put some fish eggs into the... Wait, I meant that as a joke, but no, fish do actually come out of fish eggs. That was a very badly thought out joke. You managed to get yourself stuck in the wall, didn't you? Maybe we should just, like, never ever open this here wall. There's a lot of mole people back there.